All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Hi,
to
Book
Bill
Tour.
and Peg's and Brian's excellent book adventure. Brian is our last minute mystery guest. Let me mute that. Okay. Um, let's see. Who do we have here so far? We've got 4 people are watching. All right. Well, guys, as you know, if you are regularly, attend these little chats that we do every couple months, we like to just catch up on what we've been reading, what we've read, what we're reading now, and what we'd like to read. And obviously, sometimes we run out of time. So because there's so many things that we're all reading, and now we've got Brian's input, which is going to be awesome. Because Brian, over at the Krusty Codex, I'm going to drop a link to his channel and Bill's channel in the chat. So I want you guys to all go over, if you haven't already, to subscribe and follow these guys, because they cover a lot of interesting books, a lot of interesting history. And we're all buddy readers together. We have buddy reads, and as many of you know, hopefully you're not going to laugh. We're almost finished. We're getting there, guys. I mean, Brian's already done reading it, but he's sticking around for the conversations. But we are, I think, down to our last 6 chapters, right, Bill?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
excited about it. I got chapter 22 already done. I just didn't put the message up yet.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing chapter 22 thoughts and stuff. But well, let's just do a round robin here and just see what's been new and with you guys. You know, what's new and improved since last time, and take it away. We'll just kind of start off with Bill, and then actually let's go to Brian, because Brian's our new guest. Brian,
Okay.
no
We just
pressure.
talking about what we've been reading, or
Yeah, tell me what have been some of your recent reads?
well, I just finished
Oh, hang on, let me
not
do
too
this
long
right.
ago. Okay, there I am. I just finished.
Oh God, you guys, I am so sorry.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna do it this way.
I don't know if you can see it here with all the glare, but The Black Death by Thomas Asbridge,
Yes.
because I can't keep away from morbid topics. And it's very interesting. The book's divided into 4 sections. The first deals with the initial arrival of the plague in Europe. It traces it through the famous siege of Kaffa, where, let's just say, some Central European besiegers began to have a mysterious epidemic sweep through their army, and they decide they can't continue the siege. But as a parting shot, they hurl some dead bodies into the city, and from there it spread to Constantinople, all the Mediterranean seaports, on up the western coast of Europe. And then from there, it worked into more inland areas and basically killed average of half the population of everywhere it hit.
Wow.
Yeah. I think the most interesting new thing for me in it was I was not aware that in the Islamic world, particularly around Cairo, was where this was. I should say Cairo. We say Cairo here in Southern Cairo, Egypt. we have a city called Cairo. But anyway, yeah, I was not aware that in Islam it was considered basically blasphemous to attempt to evade the plague. It was considered basically a curse on the unrighteous, and a blessing for the righteous, because it was a chance at martyrdom, and to attempt to get away from it was just very frowned upon. So it tended to actually have more impact in Islamic areas. I had not been aware of that.
Wow, me neither.
Yeah, and it actually was probably the end of the I don't know if you want to call it dynasty or empire that was in place in Cairo at that time. I can't remember the name of it, but then the author gets into, of course, debate over which organism was involved in this. We have DNA proof now that it was indeed the bubonic plague, but that was debated for a long time because we had a chance to study the bubonic plague in the late 19th, early 20th century when it really struck in Southeast Asia. And it does not tend to spread as quickly as it did in 1347. So we still don't know why that round of it was particularly deadly, but it spread quickly and it hit hard. There's all kinds of, was there starvation? Was it climate? Was there some factor that meant a lot of the mammals that serve as vectors for the plague, rats and other rodents, might have been more plentiful at that time and helped spread it fast? We just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was an unusually rapid spread for that disease. And of course, 1347 was the big initial Black Death, as they call it, but the disease continued to surface in more localized epidemics for the next 300 years or so. The 1665 Plague of London would be a famous example. But,
right. Yeah. Now, did you find that Asbridge did a great job of like writing a compelling like narrative? Was it really kind of?
Oh, very much so. Very much. My only complaint might be that because he's covering so many different areas from Scandinavia to England, France, Spain, Northern Africa, these sources, let's just say the experience of the plague pretty much was what it was for the people on the ground. So it can feel a little bit repetitive at times for that reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, he covers a lot of territory and does it very well. Just know that the experience kind of was what it was, so there will be some repetition in that sense.
Gotcha.
But, and of course, there were the really sad things. I mean, as if the disease wasn't bad enough, but we had to have scapegoats. So we have the famous pogroms against Jewish people, especially in Switzerland, a little bit in Spain. It was thought that the way disease worked at that time wasn't really understood, although in my opinion, they knew better than this, but scapegoats have got to be there for humans, I guess. But there was conspiracy that Jews were poisoning the wells and that's what was causing this, which was ridiculous because Jews were dying from it just like everyone else. So if they were poisoning the wells, it was a pretty stupid plan. So, but yeah, that's just what struck me as sad, as if the disease wasn't bad enough. Humans had to make the situation even worse. So
which is what we tend to do.
I think I saw Mike on there. Was it Mike or
Eternal Reading? Is that it?
That's Austin. Hi, Austin.
Yep. Says that sounds like a fun read, Brian.
It was interesting.
So, Brian, did that book make any connections to some of the modern, I don't want to say diseases, but modern ailments that we have in today's world? Because I had read one that talked about that and how, and I'm going to say like Crohn's disease. I could be off on the wrong, I could have the wrong one, but there were several of them you mentioned. I don't remember if that was it, but was there some connections?
It's interesting that you bring that up, because Crohn's disease in particular, because with our modern genetic studies, scientists, this is all still in the hypothetical, but scientists have discovered a mutation that they think might have conferred some resistance to the plague.
Yeah.
But this mutation, the way it works, it also tends to leave the person who has it vulnerable to autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and Crohn's disease. So there is speculation that maybe the reason so many people experience those diseases is that there was kind of a bottleneck there where people that had that mutation tended to be the ones who survived the plague. Yeah. So
interesting.
Like I said, hypothetical, but yeah.
So if I have ulcerative colitis, that means I would have been a survivor, right?
Really, if you're here, you probably had some ancestors that survived it.
I think that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. Um,
Whether
All
they
right,
had that
Bill.
resistance or if they just got lucky. But
yeah. Either way, I'm thankful. All right, Bill. What do you got? What's one of your recent reads here?
Okay, so I had a request. I believe it was last time we had our our book chat, which was, I looked it up. Last time we chatted was it May 30th? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had somebody in the comments. I don't remember who it was. I'm terrible at remembering those kind of things, but they had asked me what was my baseball read for the summer.
Oh, that's right. Right.
And so I completely forgot about it up to that point. I kind of put it on the back burner. I was like, oh, I got to go find my baseball book. So I found my baseball book, and it ended up being a very, very good read. I sat and read a chapter or two each day. I make my daughter sit down, and we've made it a family time actually this summer, and I really enjoy it. We sit down for an hour every day, and you have to read quietly. You get to pick your book, but you got to read, because we're trying not to go like at school. When you start the beginning of the year, kids tend to go 2 steps back over the summer, and then they have to play catch up. And one of my goals was, we're not going to go backwards. We're going to either stay status quo or go forward. And so during our reading time, during June, I read Great Time Coming, The Life of Jackie Robinson, From Baseball to Birmingham.
Nice.
By David Faulkner. And that was a really good book. It was very heavy on the civil rights side. It wasn't as much on baseball as what I was wanting. I like, it could have been a little thicker with some more baseball stuff in it. But that's okay, because I really enjoyed the civil rights stuff that he was presenting. And he went through, the classic stuff with Robinson, with stuff in the Army when he refused to get up from his seat. He talked about, breaking the color barrier. But then from that point on, I guess I had never read a biography that emphasized his role in the civil rights movement. And that was pretty amazing how much he was involved. And it makes sense. I just didn't ever, read up on how much he was involved in the civil rights movement. He was right there with Martin Luther King Jr. He was talking to presidents. He was like when the bombings down south, he was there that next day looking at the mess that was made. So he's like right in the thick of it. He doesn't normally get as much limelight as a lot of the civil rights leaders.
Interesting. Okay.
I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't aware that he was that deeply involved.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think, I don't know, maybe was his political leanings. Maybe that's why he didn't get as much limelight. He tried to get people to vote Republican when they were voting for JFK and LBJ, and he was a Nixon guy. So maybe that was part of the reason.
Interesting. I don't know. I mean, there's always a lot of different reasons where that could happen,
But it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Excellent. I just realized I need to get my book ready here. Oh God. It figures. I have so many books, you guys. I'm trying. Dang it. All right.
Man,
I think it must.
Brazil. We went international. Did you catch that?
Yes, I was just going to say hello, Antonio from Brazil. I was putting up your channel links there for a second. Let's go back to the group layout there. Just so you guys know, if you see camera angles changing, I'm still learning this StreamYard Studio, so I'm trying to see how it works. Yeah. But there's multiple different layouts. Okay, let's see. Well, let me go back to this because I feel like I am really late. I mentioned this book before. This is a book I finished for June on the Range, but I mentioned it before. It's a work of historical fiction, The Beauty of the Days Gone By. Let me see if I can, hang on. I got it. Here we go. I just have to manually do that. By Jason Stone. This is a brand new release. It came out in June, and I just loved it. This is like a Western in the old-fashioned way. You know what I mean? Like the book cover or dust jacket cover says, in the tradition of, like, say, Lonesome Dove and stuff like this. I mean, it is a big book. It's about a 450 plus page novel. But what it is, it's a fictionalized account of cattleman Charles Goodnight. Have you guys heard of that name? Charles Goodnight?
Mm-hmm.
He was a big cattleman back in the American West days. Drove a lot of, herds to market, built ranches, but he was out there in the 1860s. And this is when the Kiowa and Comanche were still very much, the rest of the country was fighting the Civil War, right? But it's like what was happening out in West Texas, where this is, like the Llano Estacado. There were these just raiding parties. The Kiowa and Comanche were just going on a tear. They were burning farms. They were just like, it's very graphic. The scenes of like the Indian raids, Native American raids, were very, very brutal. But it's tied in with the story of R.L. Terry, who was a friend of Goodnight's. He comes back to his farm to see that his wife has been brutally attacked. I'm not trying not to give too much away. And his boys, he has two sons. They had been taken captive by the Kiowa at the time, and they were going to save them for assimilation. So you get a lot of those white captive stories.
Right.
And so it goes between two time frames. 1920s, where Charles Goodnight is an old man, and he is giving his memories to an actual real life historian. The guy who wrote Charles Goodnight's biography, actually, I don't think they put that guy's name in here, but he was a historian from the local university, and he's getting all the insight from Charles Goodnight about what happened during those days and those just the Apache Wars. They were just the Apache Wars. Well, there's Kiowa, Comanche, and it brings in. And I'm thinking of another novel that I read around the same time, another Western that brought in Geronimo. So there's a lot of different tribes. But anyway, it was great. It moved from 1860s to 1920s. And then it kind of reveals something at the end, which you kind of see coming.
Lost your sound, Peg. Peg, can't hear your sound.
Do you want us to take a round? We can't hear you.
I can't hear you, Peg.
Brian, you want to go ahead and go with your next book while we try to figure out sound?
Let me try sending her a message here.
Or I can go, and if you don't want to, Brian.
I can go ahead and go.
You can't. Peg, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Okay? We can't hear you either.
No.
Okay, now I can't read lips either. All right. Well, you mentioned June on the Range. I'm going to go ahead and go with my next one if you can figure that out.
Okay.
As I'm talking. My next one for. Oh, never mind. Brian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I wonder if we're still live. Says we're live.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is the time we go to our radio voice, folks. So let me talk about some books that I don't have to show you. Talk about second quarter of Historathon. That's a reading event that a lot of us partake in, where we try to read as much nonfiction